the third attempt to try to get an intro for this video, so let's just get this over with. The kids keep coming in and then somebody needs me and it's just, and the dog runs by. I tell you, we are in this together, aren't we? How you guys enjoyed staying home? Hey everyone, it's Emily and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you $6 DIYs. I am going to be using products from the Dollar Tree to give you these really fun and easy DIY home decor ideas so that you can decorate your home on a budget. I hope you guys are doing okay staying at home. I will say I'm going a little stir crazy, but I am happy that I'm using up my craft supply stash. It's slowly dwindling down, so that's always a wonderful thing. The kids are upstairs currently bouncing around, so sorry about that, but that is just how it currently is at this moment. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. That way you never miss out on a DIY or home decor related video here on my channel. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. So for this DIY, these are the supplies I will be using. I'm going to repurpose this fall sign. You can paint the front of it. You will need 2 coats of the Waverly white paint if you do that. Otherwise, you'll just need 1 if you want to just do the back like I am. Once your sign has dried, go ahead and take your printout or your stencil. I am using this one. It's a 5-inch from Joann's that came in a package, but I do know that Walmart carries the same brand, and I like these because you can continue to reuse them. I'm going in with the Elephant color by Waverly. I didn't want a black for this. I wanted a dark charcoal. Again, use whatever paint you have on hand. Since we are stuck at home, I am just reusing whatever products I can find in my craft supplies. So to jazz up my sign, I'm going to be using a little bit left over of my scrapbook paper that I found. I just went ahead and traced out the bottom portion, but I wasn't looking at the paper, so I ended up cutting out the barcode. Yeah, oops. So make sure you see where exactly you were tracing your paper at. So I just went ahead and put that back on and then just traced it a little bit longer. That way it would cover it up. And I actually saw a sign like this at Hobby Lobby a while ago, and I thought I could totally recreate that with what I have. So that is where the inspiration for this sign came from. And of course, you know, you can do what works for you. You can put your whole name on here. You can put a beautiful saying if you want to. I went ahead and just took some glue and glued down the scrapbook paper, and then I'm taking my Dollar Tree twine and doing an edge around the bottom portion. And I ended up doing 2 wraps of this for the area, and then I thought it'd be really cute if I just created a border around the entire sign with the twine, just to give it a little bit of some character and stuff. So I went ahead and did that all the way around the sign. And then I also put established in 2020 and put a little bit of straw bow on the bottom, and this is the way it turned out. I really like it, and again, we're just using some leftovers and you can make some really cute crafts with it. For the next DIY, I'm going to be using this little candy dish from Dollar Tree and these half rounds. I got these off of Amazon a while ago, and I really like these because they're half rounds, so they will be flat on the one side. And I just took some hot glue, glued it down first, and then added the little bead of super glue to it just to strengthen it a little bit. So once I got those all attached, I went outside to spray paint it, and then my spray paint stopped working on me. So yeah, I'm going in with my Waverly chalk paint here, and actually I really like the way this turned out better because I did a rougher coat on this. So I started by putting a thicker coat on, and then I ended up rubbing part of it off. I like the fact that if you add a little bit to the plastic part and then, in a sense, dry brush the wooden pieces, it looks really nice. And once you get a nice even coat, I went in with some swirls with my brush just to make it look more aged and antiqued basically. It looked like a nice pottery dish versus something that was smooth. I wanted that texture to come out in the brush strokes, if that makes sense. So go ahead and cover the entire thing with white, and then once I got white kind of covered in there and everything and let that dry, I went in with a little bit of brown, and I'm talking dry brush this. You want a teeny bit on your brush and just make some swirls around there, again just to age it a little bit and make it look like a wood piece. And I am so pleased with the way this project came together. For this DIY, I'm going to be using this round Bless Our Nest sign. I already made over the back of it, otherwise I'd be using the back of it so I wouldn't ruin the front, but we're repurposing this today. I ended up doing 2 coats of the Waverly White paint over the writing, otherwise you'll be pretty good to go with 1 coat. I took this other Dollar Tree sign, which is fine just as it is, but I wanted to jazz this up a little bit. You could just take one of those wood canvases, take off the canvas part, and then frame this as a sign if you want to, but I'm going to be using this slightly differently. I decided to cut out the flowers and basically create a border around the saying for the round sign, and I really like the way this project came together. I love how colorful it is, and you can do this with any of their canvas arts that they have there. They have different sayings on them. I went ahead and took some Elmer's glue here and brushed that on the back of it and spread that out. You can use Mod Podge. You'll see I use a combination of both because I'm using what I have on hand again. And I'm just going to slowly take that and just start working the flowers around. I really wanted it to look very natural, as if it just flowed organically on there, as if I didn't even cut it. So you want to make sure you use plenty of glue for this and glue over the top of it as well. So once all the glue had dried, I ended up going around with a black paint just around the border because I didn't like how you could see a little bit of the edging. And then I decided to use my half round, since I had so many, and put those between the florals and the black to kind of create another border. And I really like the way this came out. You can paint them if you want to, but I like the raw wood look. Here are the supplies I'll be using for this DIY. This is a really cute chalkboard sign that they carried at Dollar Tree about a month or 2 ago. I've been saving them and I was like, oh, it's time to use it since we can't go out to the stores. I ended up just covering the back of it with the Waverly White paint. I like Waverly paint because it's really thick and you typically only need 1 coat, but again, use what you have. If you only have some paint in big cans outside, use those too. I'm using some popsicle sticks here. I'm using 2 full 1.5 for the first lettering, and then I'm going to be using 4 for the next letter, and then 1.5 for the last letters. So I'm just taking some black paint. I'm going to cover just the front and the sides of it. There's no need to do both sides, just make sure you get the edging. And then I'm going to start hot gluing those down to my sign, and this is where you can spell out whatever you would like. I have quite a bit of supplies, so I was like, you know what, we're just gonna make this. I haven't made a home sign in a while, and I thought this would be super cute, especially with popsicle sticks, and I like how it has a little bit of a 3D effect. Then I decided, instead of using just plain greenery, I would use some of this lavender that I had from Walmart. And all I did was just start gluing the greenery and the flowers in more of a circle shape to create an O. Really basic. You can do this with anything you want to, or you can use popsicle sticks to make an O as well. Do what works best for you. And then I decided to use the skinny skewer sticks for the edging, but I didn't like the way that looked. You can see both my helpers are there with me. And so I took some leftover Dollar Tree ribbon and decided to cut that down just so you would see like a small strip of the chevron print, and I just went ahead and glued that around the whole edging of the sign. Really basic and easy. You can, obviously, if you have a lot of wood on hand, I'm saving mine for other projects I have coming up, so you can trim this out if you want to, but this is the way the sign came together, and I think it's really adorable. Want the same size hula hoop, or you can use the larger one. I'll be using these extra large bamboo skewers, which were found near the barbecue stuff, some black enamel paint, some poster board, or you could use these wood blocks at Hobby Lobby. You're going to start by taking these wood blocks and using them as a template. These are about 4 inches wide, and I'm just going to trace those. Now, if you were using and making this into a wood DIY, definitely use the wood blocks, but the foam board works just fine. Take your long skewer and then measure across both sides, and then you can see how long you will need it. And then you can cross these over, but there's no need to, so you can take one skewer and actually get 3 pieces out of it. As you can see here, I'm just measuring the length I need and then just using some wire cutters to break these. And then you'll use those as a template to cut yourself some more pieces. Now this is supposed to look like more of like a wagon wheel or a bicycle wheel here, so if you want it more, add more picks to this. So add glue to each end of your first bamboo skewer and then secure that on. The next step is to add a couple layers of hot glue and then glue the poster board to the middle of the skewer in the middle of the hula hoop. And then you're going to add a little bit more on the top, just securing that, and then you're going to add a lot more to the middle. And then you can take those smaller skewers and then just start adding those around the hula hoop. Now you can do these however close or as far apart as you want. I didn't end up using as many as I cut. I just liked the way it looked, having about 4 on each side. So you do what works best for you. This is super easy. Again, you're just adding a lot of glue towards the middle. And if one happens to be shorter, just scoot it down because the foam board will hold that in. The next step is to take more hot glue and run that down each of the skewers that are touching the foam board. That way it makes it extra strong, and then you can see how that will look on the opposite side when we're done. Then you're going to take your cutters and then just trim off any excess that is sticking out over the hula hoop. Then you will glue each of those ends down onto the hula hoop, working your way all the way around. Now go ahead and take more of the hot glue and add that to the top of each of your skewer sticks, and then you're going to glue the other side of the foam board on there. You don't have to do this, but it definitely makes it stronger. I decided I wanted to have a little bit smaller of a circle in the middle, so I'm just flipping this over because one side is definitely the back and the other side is the front. Add a little bit of glue to the center and then add that smaller circle to the front of your wagon wheel here. Then go outside and spray that baby all the way around. You're going to need pretty good coverage here, and the foam board works just fine. For the next part of this DIY, I'm going to be using this sign from the Dollar Tree, and I'm only going to be using one of the wooden plaques on it. And again, I'm going to be coating this in white. That seems to be a theme for this video. Lots of white paint. Sorry about that. And then I'm going to set that to the side and let that dry. I am using these tulips that I got from Michael's about 2 months ago, and I'm so happy I picked up extra because now the store's closed because of everything. So instead of chopping them up, I'm just bending the picks. That way I can just tape them down and I can reuse them for another project later on. I like to reuse my florals as much as I can. I didn't have any floral wire that I could find, so I'm just using some floral tape that Dollar Tree carries and then some hot glue and just gluing those together. Works really well. And then I'm just going to make sure everything is secured. And the thing I like about using florals, because you can since they're wired, you can move them up and down if you want to. And these were only $1 a piece at Michael's, which was a great deal. Now I couldn't quite do that with the yellow ones, so I just went ahead and cut those babies down, kept the stem still long, and then I just started layering them in the way I wanted them to visually look. And then again, I am just going to, after I get them all put together, I'm going to wrap them with some of that floral tape and some hot glue. That way they're secured to the wagon wheel for me. Now I'm going to set that to the side and I'm going to start writing out what I want my sign to say for the wreath. You can have it say whatever you want. I went ahead and just used a pencil and freehanded this, but you can just print out some words and trace those on, and my Sharpies decided to stop working on me, so I just went in with my black paint and just re-highlighted the words. I said, welcome y'all, although nobody's stuck at home, so do what works for you. Hopefully this will be over soon. Hopefully we'll all get nice and healthy, and well, life will return to a somewhat normal state, even though I think it's really nice that we are all home together, basically enjoying family time. So once I stuck in that boxwood and glued that in, I went ahead and glued my sign on, and this is the way the wagon wreath came together. I like the wagon wheel on its own because you can really do whatever you want to decorate it for each season. For this DIY, I'll be using these wooden blocks, and I just start by hot gluing them together. You can use E6000, you can use gel super glue, use whatever you got on hand. I started by gluing 5 of them together, and then actually I glued 2 of them with 6 on them for the bottom piece, and then I glued 2 with 5 and then 2 with 6 for the top. So you should have 6 total pieces that are glued together, if that makes sense. And I'm just going to basically start making a little planter box out of these. I really like them. Now you can go however tall you want with this, but I just did a single level, and this is the way it's looking. Then I got out my wooden beads, and they were trying to escape. They didn't want to be used. And I just started putting those on my Dollar Tree twine, and I think I used about 19 of them or so. And I went ahead and just chopped that at the end, and these are going to go around this ceramic vase. Dollar Tree carries these in a 2-pack usually, and then they have a smaller size, but if you have larger ones, definitely use those. Again, use whatever you got on hand. They do carry plastic ones, but this one is ceramic, and I just did a nice thick coat on that, but still left a little bit of the ceramic coming out. I went ahead and added some hot glue and then started gluing the beads on, and I added a little bit of hot glue at the base of the beads so they wouldn't come off my string, so that's why they're not escaping anymore. And then I went ahead and finished that around, and then I went ahead and tied the strings together and then just glued that down at the very end. Just to add a little bit more security for the hole, I added a little bit of some super glue to that, and then I ended up taking the planter box and adding a stripe of black at the very base of it. You don't have to do this, you could stain it, you can do whatever you'd like, but I just thought I needed some color to it and things like that. And then I went ahead and put 3 wooden blocks at the very bottom. That way it would give some height to my little ceramic vase. I glued down a styrofoam ball and then started adding my tulips. Again, use whatever you have. And then I added some peat moss that I had on hand to cover up the foam ball, and this is the way this one came out. Now you can paint the wooden beads if you want, but I like the natural wooden beads. It's just something I'm all into right now. And then here's what it looks like inside the little planter box. It's a fun little DIY. I like it to add to like some coffee table decor or some books I think would be really cute. I hope you all enjoyed today's Dollar Tree DIYs, and let me know which one was your favorite and what you are currently working on yourselves. If you happen to miss my last few videos, I will have them linked down in the description box below, as well as on the cards here on the screen. Until next time, I hope you guys have an amazing day, and make sure you have your subscribe button and the notification bell on, because I have a fun thrift flip video for you coming up, and I don't want you all to miss out on that. So until then, I will see you all in the next one.